Hello, Nhi, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, okay, that's good. So, how are you today?
I'm fine. And how about you?
We're good. We're good. We just stay at home like you. So, is there any news that like teenagers like you will get vaccinated in the future, or there's no news like
Mm,
that?
I think we will have vaccines in the future. A few months later.
Oh, I see. Are you close to Ho Chi Minh City, my dear? Are you close to Ho Chi Minh City?
Yes.
Because I heard that in Ho Chi Minh City, almost all people are really required to get the vaccinations, right?
Yes.
I see. So good. Okay, so thank you for informing me. So let's now proceed to the topic that we are about to discuss today, right? So yesterday we are talking about the promised land, right?
Yes. And we
Okay,
finished page 93.
page 93. Okay, hold on. I need to open my Facebook so that I can send you the link if there would be some reading exercises that we need to read. Okay? Alright, I can see your name now. Me. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's start. So I'll open the book now. So you have your book with you? I open my book
Yes,
now.
I have.
Okay, great. So let's start. So, we will be starting with, last time we talked about grammar, pronunciation, and speaking. We finished 614 and 615, right? So, we learned about intonation in clef sentences. So, we learned that clef sentences beginning with what or could be the intonation is falling down, right? If the clef sentences beginning with
Yes.
it, I mean, if it's what, it's mean rising intonation, and if the clef sentences is begins with it, then it's on a falling intonation, right? That's what we heard. And then we copy the intonation of our audio 6.15, and that comprise 1 to 6 sentences that we have here. So now we move to page 94, right? Reading and speaking. So today we will be you're going to read an extract from the Joy Luck Club. So this is a book by Amitan. So this is a best-selling book about first and second generation immigrants. So we know the meaning of immigrants, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that already. Which has also been made into film. Wow. I never saw this film, but I think it's good. Before we read, let's answer the question below. So, do you know any second generation immigrants to your country?
I know a family. They are in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
and they are immigrants, and now they're living in my hometown.
Oh, I see. So they came from Australia, originally from Australia. Okay? And
Yes.
then, do the parents in the family still keep up their language and culture? Do they still speak Australian English? Or more often than not, they speak Vietnamese?
They can speak. I know they can speak Australian language and some Vietnamese.
Oh, what about the children? What do they speak?
They can speak Vietnamese too.
Oh, okay. Both English and Vietnamese, right?
Yes.
So, do you think some children of immigrants might have conflict of identity when they are migrating from one country to the other? What do you think?
I think maybe
Maybe.
because I think the culture is very different.
I would agree. I would agree. So the culture, especially from Western country like Australia, going to an Asian country like Vietnam, right? So there would be some conflict on traditions, on culture, and some practices also. Okay, now let's read the extract from the book. So, to what extent do you think Waverly has an identity crisis? What does her mother feel about it? So, there. So, the Joy Luck Club is the story of four Chinese mothers and their first generation Chinese American daughters, two generations of women struggling to come to terms with their cultural identity. Here, Lindo Jong, one of the mothers, talk about her daughter Waverly. Okay? So, the
Okay.
title of our article is Double Face. Let's read.
Linda Chong, double face. My daughter wanted to go to China for her second honeymoon, but now she's afraid. What if I blend in so well they think I'm one of them? Waverly asked me. What if they don't let me come back to United States? When you go to China, I told her, you don't even need to open your mouth. They already know you're an outsider. What are you talking about? She asked. My daughter likes to speak back. She likes to question what I say. I said, even if you put on their clothes, even if you take off your makeup and hide your fancy jewelry, they know. They know just watching your work, the way you carry your face, and they know you do not belong. My daughter did not look pleased when I told her this, that she didn't look Chinese. She had a sure American look on her face. Oh, maybe 10 years ago she would have clapped her hands, hooray, as if this were good news. But now she wants to be Chinese. It is so fashionable. And I know it's too late. All those years I tried to teach her. She followed my Chinese ways only until she learned how to work out the door by herself and go to school. So now the only Chinese words she can say are ish, hush, sense, and Grundenschere. How can she talk to people in China with those words only? PP, Cho Chen, eat, clothes, light, sleep. How can she think she can blend in? Only her skin and her hair are Chinese. Inside, she's on American made. It's my fault she's this way. I wanted my children to have the best combination. American circumstance and Chinese character. How could I know these two things do not mix? I told her how American circumstance work if
Circumstances.
your circumstances work if you are born poor here. It's no lasting shame. You're first in line for for a scholarship if the roof crashes on your head. No need to cry over this bad luck. You can sure
Sue.
sue anybody, make a landlord fix it. You don't have to sit like a butter under a tree letting patients drop their dirty business on your head. You can buy an umbrella or go inside a Catholic church. In America, nobody says you have to keep the circumstances somebody else gives you.
She,
She learned these things, but I couldn't teach her about Chinese character, how to obey parents and listen to mother's mind, how not to show your own through, to put your feeling behind your face so you can take advantage of hidden opportunity. Why easy things are not worth pursuing, how to know your own work and policies, never flashing it around like a cheap ring, why Chinese thinking is the best. No, this kind of thinking didn't speak to her. She was too busy chewing gum, blowing bubbles bigger than her cheeks. Only that kind of thinking stuck. Finish your coffee. I told her yesterday, don't throw your blessing away. Don't be so old-fashioned.
excuse me.
She told me, fishing her coffee down the sink. I'm my own person. And I think, how can she be her own person? When did I give her up?
Okay, alright. So, what happened in the story? So, what was the big problem of the daughter in the story?
Mm, I think the problem with the daughter is she lived in America 10 years and she don't know about the culture of China.
But she wants to become Chinese, right? She wants to
Yes.
live in China. All right. So, so now, we were talking about double face because she's half American and half Chinese, right? And it made her difficult. It gives her difficulties actually because because living a double life like that, being half American and half Chinese, that doesn't make her life easy, right? Does not make her life easy. So now, if you okay, I'm gonna ask that question later during our realization. So let's now talk about this one. Read the extract and then choose ABC as our answer.
Mm, little thinks her daughter will not be mistaken for a native-born Chinese, mainly because of the way she I think looks.
Yeah, the way she looks actually, the way she looks is quite different, really different from the Chinese people, because you know what, have you seen it already in the Philippines? There's so many like this. We're in America, the father are Westerner, foreigners, and the mother is a Filipina. So when they got children, they were really different. You could notice the nose are pointed, the cheekbone are very high. They're very tall. You know, Filipinos are not so tall. Asians are not so tall. But if you are half Asian, half Westerner, the daughter or the children or the son becomes very tall, and the faces are quite different, right? So you could really see the difference. Yeah, it's the look that she's having a hard time with. Okay. Lindo's daughter now.
Lindo's daughter now um became less Chinese as she grew older.
Okay, that's right. What about the third question?
What Lindo most likes about American way of life is that um you don't have to accept your fate.
You don't have to accept your what Lindo most like about the American way of life is that you don't have to accept your fate. Um, Other people always help you, so you don't have to accept your fate. That's true, right? You can change it, you can twist it, because they're very liberated, right? American people are very liberated. Okay, next.
Yes. Which of these is not an aspect of Chinese culture according to Lindo? I think um, hiding your, I think showing off.
Showing off. Yeah, that's true. Most Asians are like that. We keep it to ourselves, right? Whatever we feel. That's why most Asian people are shy, right? So we tend to
Yes.
because we don't we are not really kind of person that show off. Hey, this is me. We're not like that, right? Okay, so number five.
Mm, Number five, Lindo gives the example of the chewing gum to show that um I think American um
So what about the chewing gum? Let's go back. What about the chewing gum? On 45. No, this kind of thinking didn't stick to her. She was too busy chewing gum, blowing bubble bigger than her cheeks. Only that kind of thinking stuck. Finish your coffee. I told her yesterday, don't throw your blessings away. Don't be so old-fashioned. She told me. Finishing her coffee down the sink in my own person. And I think, how can she be her own person when did I give her up? So what about chewing gum?
I think about American habits were very easily acquired by her daughter.
Yeah, okay. American habits were very easily acquired by her daughter. True. Of course, right? So if you are, especially if you are living on that country, so do what the Romans do. That's what they said, right? So do what the Americans do. Because you live in their country, because you are living there. So that's why. Okay? So any other questions on that? So if you are Waverly, so how would you feel about the situation? Ni.
Hello.
Yeah, Ni, if you are Waverly, how would you feel about the situation?
I think if I were Waverly, I think maybe because she feel very hard. Well, because I think she it's very hard for her to um she can know a lot about the Chinese culture.
Mm-mm. Mm. So, do you think a Vietnamese woman or a Vietnamese woman like you? Because I heard that in Vietnam also, some women are marrying foreigners or vice versa.
Yes.
Men are marrying foreign women also, right? So, how are their children? How are they acting? Do they act
Mm,
differently because their father or their mothers are foreigners?
I think the children they live in America like they live in America. They have the culture or and behavior like American
Americans.
people.
Mm. So, what if the father is a foreigner, the mother is a Vietnamese, they live in Vietnam? How do these children looks like?
I think if they live in Vietnam, they maybe have they maybe like the culture in like the people in Vietnam. But
Okay.
I because I don't know about these people, I never
Mm.
see.
So you don't have any classmates whose parents are, one is foreigner and the other one is Vietnamese. You don't have any
Yes,
classmates like that. I see. So most likely, or perhaps that could be, right? If they grow up in the, for example, like in our case, I have a friend. So my friend is a Filipina, and then her husband is a European, a German actually. So the kids was born in the Philippines and was raised in the Philippines. It's the look, only the look that was inherited from the father. But totally in the manners, in the way she talk, the way she act, she's really a Filipino. So there. So I think where she grew up, that would matter the most, right? So only if
yes,
Waverly grew up in China, even though his parents are half American or American, right? Even though one of her parents or is an American, so she could sound and act like Chinese also, right? So it depends where you grew up. Okay. All right. So good conversation. Thank you, Ni, for sharing your ideas. So now let us continue. So we are done already with this letter C. So let's proceed to our lexis in context. So look at the following verbs in the text and guess their meaning. So what do we mean by blend in?
blend in
Mm.
is mean I think it's look it's look different.
To look different. Actually, when we say blend in, it means that we, blend in. It's like, I'll give you an example. So you have coffee. Coffee is what color? Coffee is
Black.
black. Coffee mate. Creamer. What is the color of the creamer?
I think white.
White. So if you put the coffee first in the hot water, so your coffee turns black, right? But when you
Yes.
put the creamer, it blends. The color blends. So they mix. Alright? So that's what it means.
Yes.
Mixing in. So that's blend in. So when we blend in, meaning we are mixing. We mix ourselves. So in culture, in cases like this, so I think Waverly wants to blend in to the culture of Chinese. Okay? So that's what it
Okay.
means. Alright, what about Sue? What do we mean by Sue? S-U-E.
I think it's mean
Sue is
we against something.
yeah, against something, but this is legal to bring in the court. Okay? To bring it to
Okay.
the court. Okay? Sue someone. Alright? Legally. Next. Obey. Meaning?
Obey, I think it's mean
What do we mean by obey? To follow, right?
follow.
Yes. Okay. Next. What do we mean by pursue?
Pursue is mean follow something.
Yeah, follow something or push on something, right? Alright. Okay, what else? What other words do we have there?
Polish.
Polish. Okay.
Polish
Okay.
is mean make
Shiny.
is mean dropping it.
Okay. Or refine. Refine means to make it very, very nice. Right? So, for example, polish your character. Meaning, make your character good. Refine your character. Polish the way you act. Something like that. Refine. If, for example, they make something and then it's not really nice. Then they said polish it. Then they have to clean it up, right? So once they clean it up, what happened? It becomes very, very good, very, very shiny. So that's polish. Okay? So flash around. What do we mean by flash around?
Flash the ground is mean to it mean impress people.
Impress people. Okay, stick to.
Stick to it mean fix.
Stick to meaning to stick or to not change at all. Not to change at all, right? So you're not changing anything. To stick to. So you follow what is being given to you by not changing anything. Okay? Stick to.
Okay.
Alright. So one last. So today, we were able to learn a lot of things, right, about cultures. Double face meaning two cultures that is being blended in Waverly. As a person who was a second generation, so she is perhaps half Chinese and half American. So what did we learn in this situation of Waverly? What did you learn, Lee?
I think in this situation we can learn about I think we can know about the life in it can affect in the children very much.
Yes. Whatever life we build, it would also affect our children. And we have to learn how to blend in. Adjust, right? We have to be
Yes.
very, very flexible. Wherever we are, whatever we do, we have to be flexible. Even if we find a job, that's what we do also. We need to be flexible so that we can adapt, right? So there. So Waverly's story give us a very good lesson, and you also make a very good analysis about the story. So every now and then, you're always giving me good impressions about the things that we are listening. You listen to it very well. You come prepared to our class. When we have discussions like this, when I ask you the meaning of the words, you tend to research already. So that's a good thing. Good job, Lee. And you're learning a lot. I can see from your reading that there are only few words that were mispronounced, but most likely you were able to understand and comprehend and read them very well. So keep up the good work. All right, me? So today, that would conclude our session. So I will say goodbye for now if you don't have questions anymore. No more questions?
No, I don't have.
All right. So thank you so much, Nee, for today. I will see you again tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye.